gonna give it a try. Okay, everyone, well, welcome in, and we'll just start and get settled. So just find yourself arriving here for your practice. Allow everything, that's going on in the busyness of life to just stay outside of the room for this time that you've carved out for yourself, and really begin to focus on what you need here from this practice, what keeps bringing you back to yoga every week, and setting a little intention for the practice. So let's just turn our hands up on our lap here, allow the shoulders to kind of drop down the back. Maybe you close your eyes, maybe you just gaze softly somewhere down on the floor, and just begin to check in with yourself. Notice that you're breathing, that breath is moving in you and through you, and that your feet are here, planted in the present moment, here on the floor, finding some grounding for your practice. And then once again, if there's any intentions that you'd like to establish here, perhaps something that you could use a little more of, some joy or health, peace, whatever comes to mind, just allow those natural instincts to be what they are. And also knowing that yoga is not trying to change you, doesn't need you to be any different than how you show up. So for this practice, you're just working with what you're feeling, and what you're feeling is perfect the way that it is. I'm gonna go grab another chair for our friends. So just continue to tap into your breath. Deep, full, smooth inhales and exhale. As we're here, coming together, let's all take our hands down onto the lap. Go ahead and turn them over. Just notice how the subtle differences here in that gesture, perhaps a little more grounding as you touch the palms onto the surface of the thighs. And we'll all take a deep breath in through the nose together. Breathe in fully. Open the mouth, let it go. Again, like that. Inhale and exhale. Good, and then bring the shoulders up to the ears. Give them a squeeze, draw the breath in, and then if you like to release a little sound, ha. We'll try that one more time in case you missed it. Inhale and exhale, ha. Good, now take your chin, let's drop it down towards the chest. Take a couple breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Again, like that, inhale and exhale. Take one more here with the chin to the chest, inhaling and exhaling. On your next inhale, take that chin, start to draw it up towards the ceiling. Stretch the front of the throat. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale it. Again, inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. On an inhale, take the head back to center. Let that breath go. Just find and recalibrate. And then whenever you're ready, see if you can drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. So getting into the side of the neck now. Allow the left shoulder to fall down. Take Take some full breaths in and out through the nose and out the nose. One more here, inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring the head back up to center, and as you exhale, just take it over to the other side. So left ear to left shoulder, right shoulder draws down the back so it's not creeping up towards the ear there. Another breath, inhaling and exhaling. Good, bring that head back to center. Let's take the hands down by the sides. Palms are gonna face forward. Feel a little more length throughout the back by lifting the crown of the head up towards the sky, pressing down through your tailbone, just this nice, long, beautiful posture in the spine without feeling rigid, just kind of getting a little more length and some space in the body. And then we'll start to move the arms up to the sky, getting a little longer as those fingertips reach towards the ceiling. Press down through the tailbone, lift up a little bit higher, and then just drop the right arm down by your side. Take that left hand, reach it up one more time, and as you exhale, a nice lean over to the right, maybe even pressing the right hand down against the chair or grabbing the side of the chair, and keeping the chest open the whole time. So you don't have to look up if it strains your neck, but it will engage some neck muscles if you would like to do that and target those. Otherwise, you can look forward, look down, but the main objective here is to make space between the left side ribs. Give it another inhale and a full exhale to lean. Come back up on the inhale, drop that hand down by your side. Right arm will swim up to the sky this time. Lengthen it high, inhale, and exhale, let's lean left. So just getting into the side body a little bit to start. Some nice movements to begin to open things up, using the breath deep and full, in and out through the nose if it's possible. One more full breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Good. Go ahead and take that arm up to the sky and then let it swim down by the side. We'll take the hands to the back of the chair here. We'll scooch up a little bit in our seat and then wrap your shoulders back and down. So we'll be that lady at the bow of the ship, planting our feet down onto the ground, lifting the chest towards the horizon, really opening up as we begin to curve into the thoracic spine. So the middle part of the back here. Breathe in and out, deep and full. All right, let me hear that breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And then take those shoulders, release the chair, start to wrap them forward and grab onto your knees. Now we're doing the opposite movement. So we've got this contraction of the belly towards the spine, this rounding of that middle section of the back, a tucking of the chin into the chest, and a stretching behind the shoulder blades. Really round it out, squeeze the belly in. And then we'll move a little bit here with some cat-cow. So on an inhale, drag your hands towards your hip bones, spread the collarbones, lift the chin. And as you exhale, slide the hands back forward around the spine. Again, inhaling, breathe deep, arch, and exhale to round it out. 2 more times. Inhale, breathe full. Exhale to release. 1 more, inhale and exhale. Now this time, let's keep going. Keep rolling those fingers down towards the shins, taking a forward fold here. Maybe you let that head say no a little bit. Maybe you shake it yes. Just letting things be loose, allowing the upper body to hang, releasing anything out of the top of the head that you'd like to let go. And then let's bring that left arm, bring it over either onto the right thigh or down by the shin. It's gonna depend on you, but we're gonna go for a twist. So try to make as much length between your tailbone and your
crown of your head as possible by taking the torso nice and long. And then you'll use this left hand to kind of twist your upper body here towards the right. Maybe the right hand comes to the right hip. Maybe it reaches out like an airplane wing. Or maybe you start to raise that arm up to your own degree. So we're never cranking on anything, and we're really trying to make that twist from our heart space, not from the lumbar spine, from the lower back, but from the mid back. And just like you're squeezing out that dirty dish rag, anything you want to rinse away this morning, give it one more inhale, raise that hand, and then exhale. Go ahead and float it back down. Now we're going to decompress the spine by taking the fingertips to the shins and just make that length once again, so you get a nice long back here. Now take the right hand, either bring the fingers over to the opposite shin or rest it here on the thigh, and twist your torso towards the left. You can bring the left hand to the left hip, or you can reach it out like an airplane wing and start to raise it up just until your body says that's enough. Where you feel yourself click into place, you stay there, you keep lengthening the crown of the head forward, and you kind of keep those breaths nice and deep in these twists because it's harder to breathe. Breathe in one more, find your edge, and then exhale, go ahead and float that hand back down. Now come back with the fingertips to the shins. Start to lengthen that spine once more. Find some traction back there. And then if you want to work some back muscles, some core, you can begin to lift that belly towards the spine, hug it in, maybe hover the torso, and maybe reach both arms out to the sides like airplane wings. Maintaining the length in the spine here, pressing down through the tailbone, reaching forward with the crown of the head. On your next inhale, start to bring both arms up to the sides, sit up high. We'll take the hands to prayer and then come down towards the heart center, interlace, and press those palms forward. Stretch that back once again. Chin to chest, a couple breaths, inhaling and exhaling. On your next inhale, go ahead and raise those palms up towards the sky. Press them nice and high. And then a little twist to the right here. Keep pressing the palms up and then reaching a little bit back. So we're finding that back bend again, right from that heart space. Just a little twisting action. And then come back to center as you inhale. Take it to the other side. Twist a little bit to the left. Maybe press up and lean back a bit. It's a subtle movement, so nothing crazy. Just breathe deep and full. That's the main objective of the practice, to keep that mind on what you're doing. And then come on back to center. Breathe high. And then go ahead and take those hands behind the head if you can. Spread the elbows nice and wide. Take an inhale here. Start to draw your right elbow towards your right hip. And then come on back to center. Inhale. Exhale, other side. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Come on back. And other side. Let's do one more round. Inhale. And exhale, back to center and to the side. Good. Come on back to center. Press those palms nice and high one last time here, and then clear the slate. Let it all go. Release. Take the shoulders up to the ears. Breathe deep. Exhale, let it go. Good. Now we're going to start to work those shoulders a little bit more. So the movement's going to be, we're going to take our 4 fingers, go ahead and curl them in, have the thumbs out, and then trying to keep your elbows a little bit raised here. We're going to come back with the thumbs, and then turn the palms over and come forward. Okay? So just like this. And as we do it, keeping the arms lifted, we're going to start to build strength in those shoulder muscles. Coming back and forth a little bit.
rotating that shoulder joint in the socket. And you'll notice as you keep going, the arms start to fatigue, so that's what we're doing. We're just working those muscles around that ball and socket joint. Good. Keep going. And you're doing this with mindfulness, so keep the mind on what you're doing. Good, all right, starting to get to some fatigue here. Good. All right, from here, go ahead, come on out. Place your palms forward, like you're got some stop signs over here. Let's do a little lean to the right. Come on back to center, don't worry, we're going both ways, other side. Back to center, little lean. And center, and lean, and center. One more round, side obliques. Center, and lean, and center. Good, drop those hands down by the sides. Give them a shake out. Let it release, and we'll take a little break from that upper body and move over to the lower body. So let's take the right toes, we're gonna point them forward, stretch the top of the foot here. Give that a nice stretch, and then go ahead and do a heel slide back in. A couple more like that. Go ahead and point the toes forward and slide it in. One more to point forward, and then slide it in. Now take the sides of the chair here and grab them. Go ahead and hover that right foot up off of the floor, about 6 inches or so, and then see if you can open the door, and then close it. And then bring it open and close. 3 and 2. Leave it open for 1. See if you can start to press that foot forward, flexing the foot, and then maybe take that left arm out to the side. See if you can do it without leaning back, engaging those hip flexors. Maybe the right hand comes out to the side, and we stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and grab the top of the shin here and hug it in towards the chest. So now that same muscles that we were strengthening, the hip flexors, we're stretching with this movement. Starting to tuck the chin to the chest, you can round the back here and just squeeze that knee in towards your nose. And then while we're in the neighborhood, how about we just roll that ankle around in one direction and then take it the other way. Good, and then we'll get into the hip as well. So underneath of that thigh, start to roll that hip joint, getting some synovial fluid moving in that socket, our largest joint in the body. And then we'll go in the other direction. All right, drop that foot back down onto the ground. A little bit of some hinging here. So sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna press that right foot forward, nice flex foot. Keep the flex in the foot, just hover it for the hinge, and then press it forward again. And then come in, keep hovering for 3, for 2, leave it open for 1. Stay here, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe the left arm raises to the sky this time. Get nice and long in that back. How about the right hand up to the sky, breathing deep. Maybe even try to hover that leg for a moment up off of the chair, engaging some core for 3, 2, and 1, and then letting it go and releasing. Good, moving on to the left leg now. Let's point the left toes forward and then slide them in. Again, pointing it forward and slide it in. One more time to point and then slide it in. Good. Now let's hover that foot a little bit off of the ground, maybe grabbing the side of the chair, and we're gonna open that door and then close it in. Come on, open and close. For 3 and 2 and 1. Holding it here, regrounding through your tailbone. Sit up a little bit taller here if you can, and then open up one arm to the side, followed by the other. Maybe pressing that heel forward without leaning to one side is the trick. Staying for 3, for 2, and for 1. And then grabbing the top of that shin here. Go ahead and hug the knee towards the nose. Breathe full in and out. Feel free to roll that ankle joint in one direction. Got little snap crackle pops this morning. Just getting them nice and moisturized, both directions. Oiling the Tin Man, so to speak. And then go ahead and come underneath of that thigh, and we'll do the same thing with the hip joint. And you can reverse that when you're ready. Good. Go ahead and drop that down. Recalibrate a little bit your posture. And then here we go. We're going to hover that foot a little bit up off of the floor, keeping it flexed. Go ahead and press that foot forward and then hinge it in. And then press and hinge. For 3, for 2, staying for 1. Okay, finding that nice L shape. Maybe the right hand raises up towards the sky for that length, followed by the left. And then you have options here, maybe even lifting that leg up a little bit, getting taller for 3, 2, and 1, and then letting that go and releasing. Good. All right, from here, let's take our hands, we're gonna bring them out to the sides again. This time, palms are gonna face towards the sky. Start to make some small circles in one direction. We're gonna go both ways, so whichever you chose is fine. I really want you to try to keep your mind focused on the breath here. So just aware of the fact that you're breathing in and you're breathing out, excuse me. And be aware of what the mind is doing. So it's going to want to distract to different things. Maybe there's a pattern that your mind likes to jump to. Maybe it's the future or the past. Perhaps a like or a dislike. I like how this feels. I don't like how this feels. You know, every time it does that, you just become aware. What are the patterns of my mind? Where does my mind like to dwell? Does it go into the future? Does it start doing the to-do list? What am I going to have for lunch? Is there enough toilet paper in the house, right? Whatever it is, it's just crazy. We watch that monkey mind and it's fine. It's normal. It's trying to protect you. These patterns are habits. They're hard to break. But the awareness is the first step to that. Okay. When are we going to reverse directions? We've still been going in the same one for so long. My arms are already tired. I don't know if I could make it the other way. All right, let's take it the opposite way. Right? So interesting. And then just know you can take breaks at any time. There's no trophies out there in the lobby for who does this the smoothest, the longest, right? This is all our practice. We're here to challenge ourselves. We want to go to the right amount, not the most amount. And we just know it's all very personal. Everybody's got different histories, different injuries, different things they're dealing with. So we want to give everybody something. We want to make sure everybody gets a challenge. And for those of you that have enough, you can always just take that break. As long as you're breathing, you're focused, you're doing the yoga. We're going to wind it up here for 3, for 2, And for one, go ahead and give that a good shake out. Nice work. All right. So from here, let's get a little bit of a movement in. How about some sun salutations seated before we get to our standing practice? So like we began, let's start with the palms facing forward, fingers pointing down, shoulders out of the ears. On a nice inhale, we'll raise both arms up to the sky, reach it high, and then let's open the arms and twist to the right. So take that twist, the right hand comes back, the left hand comes forward. Now facing forward on the inhale, turn it to the front, and then take that twist to the opposite side. Open those arms wide. Coming back to center on the inhale, let's take the arms out like a cactus as we exhale. Take an inhale here, and now a little chest press as you bring those forearms towards one another. Open it back up on the inhale, and then drop your heavy head as you exhale, forward fold. Take that half flat back with the fingertips to the shins, lengthen the back, and then come back to forward fold as you exhale. Now press down through both feet, reach and rise to the sky, palms touch at the top. Come through the center line, and on the same exhale, press those hands forward to wrap. Now reach those palms to the sky, nice and high once again, and then clear the slate, let it all go and release. On an inhale, draw your shoulders to the ears, and as you exhale, open the mouth and let it go. Good, then come back to your smooth, deep breathing. And those are going to be the movements that we're going to flow through in this moving meditation. So that was kind of like a dress rehearsal for these next few rounds. So if you're ready, if you're with us, connecting a little more smoothly, the breath to the movement, and just follow along like an advanced game of Simon Says. Here we go. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, twist it right. To the sky as you inhale, and then left side. Let's come back up as you inhale. Cactus those arms open to exhale. Now stay on the inhale, little chest press to exhale. Back open on the inhale. Let's drop the heavy head to exhale. Take a half flat back, inhale. Now forward fold again, exhale. Press and rise to the sky, reach it up. On the same exhale, come down the center line and press things forward. On an inhale, reach and rise once more. As you exhale, clear that slate. Take the shoulders up to the ears. Open the mouth, let it go. And then a couple of breaths to recalibrate. Just notice that you're breathing. Bring it back to those full deep breaths in and out through the nose. Maybe the heart rate a little bit stronger. Nothing wrong with a little bit of cardio in our yoga practice, just to keep that heart from atrophying, nothing crazy. So we know the healthiest exercise on the planet is still walking, so just want to give ourselves a nice little stroll through every nook and cranny in the body, just touching all these different places. If you want another round, we'll set it up. Here we go. Arms down by the side. Round 2 of 3. On an inhale, raise it high. As you exhale, twist it right. To the sky. Inhale. Left side. Exhale. Back up to reach. Arms open to the sides. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, forward fold. It's a half flat back to lengthen the spine, and then forward fold to exhale. Press through both feet, reach and rise, and then hands down the center line as you press forward and stretch. Come back up to the sky as you inhale. Now clear the space as you exhale. Take the shoulders up to roll. Exhale to let it go. And once again, just noticing how you're feeling, the energetic shift since you came into the practice, staying with what you're doing. And if you want to go for one last round, here it is. I'll give you a challenge. See if you can breathe with me. So at the start of the movement is the start of the inhale, you complete the movement, you complete the inhale. Start of the exhale, start of the movement. So it all works in calibration with your breath, and that's what makes this the meditation, is to keep the mind focused on those things, so that we give our mind a place to land, and that we keep things nice and smooth and focused throughout the whole time. So if you're ready, here we go. On an inhale, arms raised to the sky. As you exhale, they open wide. Now come on back up, inhale, breathe in. As you exhale, twist it to the left. Breathe in, arms high. Exhale, open it out. Take an inhale here, and then draw those forearms together on the exhale. Inhale, back open. Exhale to forward fold. Now lengthen the spine as you inhale, and then drop your heavy head as you exhale. Press through those feet, reach all the way up. It's an inhale. Same exhale, the palms connect, and then you interlace and press forward. On an inhale, the palms raise back to the sky, and as you exhale, they come out wide. Now inhale, shoulders roll high. Exhale, let it go. Good. Okay. All right, let's start to work our way towards standing here. So let's do a little bit of some squat work for those glutes and that core. Bring your arms out to the front of you. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, stand up, raise the arms high, and then come on back in front of you. Let's see if we can bend and do a little squat here without sitting down, just hovering that tush above the chair, reaching it back, and the fingertips reach forward. Keep breathing. Feel your inner thighs squeezing towards one another. Feel the belly hug towards the spine, and then go ahead and take a little seat there. Take a break. Take an inhale and an exhale. Another one in, and a full breath out. Arms back in front of you here. Take a breath in through the nose. Let's stand up, exhale, all the way up, reach to the sky, and then just bring those hands down by your sides. Good. Okay, let's come behind the chair for downward facing dog. So taking that chair, bringing the hands right to the back here, and starting to walk the feet back right away. See if you can keep the focus on the spine. So you will get a hamstring stretch. You can straighten your knees to your own degree. But the priority here is the length of the spine. So imagining that you've got that hook in your tailbone, someone's lifting it up and back. You find some traction there, some space between the vertebrae. And then watching the breath. So on an inhale, the belly's going to drop. And as you exhale, hug your belly in towards the spine. Inhale, full belly breath. Exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine. Take one more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Start to walk your feet towards the chair now. And then we'll pop up onto the tiptoes from here. So a few calf raises, pressing down through the balls of the feet, lifting the heels up towards the sky, and then go ahead and lower those heels back down. Let's do that a few more times. So press it and lower. Press and lower. Press and lower. Press and lower. Now if you want, right arm and lower down. Left arm and lower down. Right, come down, and left, come down. And then option to take both up and stay. And then just play with it. So remember, we're working the edges of our balance. It's all right if you're stumbly or wobbly. Try to breathe through that. That's the challenge, to stay calm in a difficult moment. And if you fall out, you can come right back in, strengthening those calf muscles a little bit. You've got a few more moments here to practice for 3, 2, and 1, and then let it go, shake it out. Good. Okay, we'll do some more strengthening here. So let's make our left leg our standing leg. Go ahead and lift and spread the toes on that left foot and ground everything back down so that you really feel a connection with your left big toe onto the floor. And then nice and easily, as you're ready, start to make the shift so that you hover your right foot up off of the ground. And then re-ground through that bottom foot. Lift up through the crown of the head. And then do your best right now to see if you can bring the right foot out to the side, strengthening the outer hip muscles. Now, a couple of things here I want you to be aware of. Let me face you guys so I can see everybody. Okay? Here's what I want I'm gonna set that aside. Okay, so here's what I want you to be aware of. Number 1, as best as you can, keep the connection with the left big toe, because you're going to want to lean towards the left, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to try to really maintain that nice length in your spine. The other part of it is to check out this foot that you're got, the right foot here. So I don't want the foot to be turning out or turning in, internal or external. Try to keep it straight along so that the toes are facing forward, okay? And then keeping it out there, maybe you play with a little bit of balance for a moment, maybe 1 or 2 hands come off of the chair. Just got 1 more moment here to strengthen. Now exhale, go ahead and drop the toes down and bring them in a semicircle behind. Come onto the ball of that foot and maybe look at the left hip and just give that a little bit of a stretch there. And then come on back and drop that foot behind you on an angle so you're kind of in this pyramid stance. And then look down at your feet and have a little bit of separation. So, gosh, it's been probably 30 years since I've been in a ballet class, so I don't remember the positions, but I think this might be 5th position. We're not at that. We're gonna step it back a little bit so that there's some separation. And then as you're ready, you can have your hands onto the back of the chair if you like. I'd like for you to bend into your front left knee. Okay, good. Now, from here, if you want to move towards what's called a warrior 1 stance, first you can take the right hand up off of the chair. You can turn this inward and then raise it up to the sky. And then if you want to try both, finding this warrior 1 pose. Good. So it will look. You've got 1 hand on the chair. Really see if you can lengthen those fingertips up towards the ceiling and bend towards 90 degrees into that knee, but not past it. Feeling the strength in the legs here, everyone? Yeah? All right, give it 1 more inhale here. Hands are gonna come down onto the chair. Now, press into that front left toe. Start to reach the crown of the head forward. So some people feel like this is enough right here. They're feeling the stretch in the back of the left thigh. Other times people come a little bit lower, but I want you to try to keep the spine long and keep wrapping your left hip in towards your body so we're not letting it sass out. So where you should be feeling this is the back of the left thigh. And then imagine like you're drawing oxygen right into the back of that thigh there. Deep, full, big breaths. Okay, now put a little bend into that knee. Start to walk your way up here. Now, take your right hand onto your right hip and twist your body towards the right. Walk your back foot back a little bit. Keep left toes facing towards the chair here. All right, so from here, we're gonna move towards what's called a triangle stance. So we're gonna start to bring our head, reach it towards your left big toe, and you keep your body open to the side here. Now, once you feel like you can't go any further, take your right arm up to the sky, straight up from that shoulder joint. Good. Keep pressing down into the left big toe, and that leg is straight, but the knee's not locked out. So we find this nice triangle stance with the arm high. Now you could stay like this, or if you want, you could turn that palm towards you, and you could reach it overhead and get towards the chair and get a side stretch there. So that's extended triangle pose. Strong feet pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. Give it one last little reach there. Now bring that hand straight up to the sky. Bend back a little bit into that front knee. Come on up. And then heel toe, your feet back to parallel. Let's take our hands to our hips here and just roll things around. And then we'll go in the other direction. Okay, so from here, let's go back to facing the chair. We're gonna make our right leg our standing leg now. So right leg is the standing leg. We're gonna lift and spread the toes, set up that good foundation so we have a good surface area. Okay. So I put the chair in front of me, right leg, standing leg. I'm gonna take the left foot, hover it up off of the ground, re-ground through that bottom foot, and then as best as possible, bring that foot out to the side to strengthen that outer hip. So really trying my best here not to lean my upper body towards the right, and also trying not to turn my toes on an angle of any sort, so that those toes are nice sharp edge there of the outside. Good, Kathy. Good. All right, and then re-ground and hold it there. Maybe practicing some balance if you want. But we're getting into that outer hip, strengthening it, and just raising it right to our own degree. It's just a steady hold. Just strengthen the muscle. And make sure that your breath is still smooth and deep, so we're not holding our breath here. It's not choppy or erratic. If anyone was listening to you breathe, they would just think you were in a calm and peaceful place. In through the nose and out through the nose. Give it one more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Go ahead and release that. Take it behind that semicircle. Let's stretch that outer hip here on the right leg. Good work. Okay, take that foot back. So now we come into this pyramid stance with the right foot forward, the left foot is back on an angle, stable distance from one another. I'm on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. And we move towards Warrior One pose. So Warrior One pose in a yoga class. This is a very common part of a standing sequence in any yoga class. What they do is they have two poses that are very similar. One is called crescent lunge, where you're on the ball of your back foot, and you've probably seen lunges before, right? So this is what a crescent lunge looks like with the arms up. In yoga, they have what's called Warrior One, which is where you flatten out that back foot. So that's what we're doing. We're putting it on a bit of a 45-degree angle. It allows for certain things. Number one, it increases the surface area of that back foot, so you can use the outer edge there to press into. It fires up the muscles on the back leg as you lean and bend into the front knee and you strengthen that front thigh. So your hips are neutral, they're facing the chair, And then of course, if you need the stability for your balance, you always have the chair here, but I would at least try to take my left arm if you can and raise that up, because what that does is it gives you some length in the side, and you can see there's space being created here in the body. And then if you feel stable and you can reach both arms up to the sky, bending into that front knee, go ahead and do that. And then just check that your hips are facing forward, you're here in Warrior One, you're feeling the strength of this pose. I'm not leaning forward in anticipation, I'm not leaning back. Really tall, long spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's give it one more here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now take the hands to the chair. Start to straighten that front leg. So now I'm pressing really strongly into the front right big toe. I'm wrapping my right hip in towards my body, and I'm lengthening the spine long. I'm going to feel this stretch in the back of the right leg, and if I feel like I can go a little further, I'm going to walk the hands forward on the chair. Great job, Barbara. Okay, nice. Got the nice long spine. So it's like whenever we're in a forward fold, we still want to try not to collapse. So you still look for a little bit of length before you fold over. And you keep wrapping that right hip in towards the body, finding strength there. And you got to give it a little bit of time, because it takes time to get to the places in the connective tissue and the fascia. Right, once we get into a stretch, you just have to allow for the pose to do what it does. So keep breathing in and out. Okay, now from here, if your hands are on the lower part of the chair, walk them to the higher part of the chair. Take your left hand to your left hip and turn those left toes a little bit more on an angle. Walk them back a little bit. Press into the right big toe so we find this triangle shape in our legs. Good. Turn your torso towards the left so the pelvis spreads nice and wide in this pose. So it's a hip opener. And then you just start to reach the crown of the head forward, away from the left hip. So I'm looking for length on both sides of my spine here in this triangle pose. And then I can reach my left fingertips up towards the ceiling, getting nice and long. And if you want to move to extended triangle, you turn the left palm towards your ear and you reach it towards the chair. Continuing to keep that pressure in the right big toe without locking the knee, and press into the outer edge of your back foot. And then if you want to look up under that arm for a little neck strength, you can do that. Otherwise, forward or down if you're feeling strained. But we'll give it a couple more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One more in and out. Good. If the arm is reaching forward up to the sky, bend into that front knee and start to walk that back foot in, heel toe, heel toe. Excellent work. Shake it out a little bit. Okay, let's go for a spread leg forward fold. Another one that's very popular in any kind of a traditional yoga class. We'll use the chair here. So a spread leg, as you might imagine, you open the feet a little bit wide, maybe 2.5 feet apart, 3 feet, really depends on you. Hands are going to come down onto the chair to start. Press into the outer edges of your feet. So the feet are a little bit pigeon-toed here, where toes are in, heels are pressing out. Now if you feel okay, you want to come down onto the forearms here. And you lift the hips up towards the ceiling as you drop the head down towards the chair. And then the more that you walk your feet
out, it's a little bit easier. Walking them in and dropping the head down further is a little more challenging. You just find a spot that's right for you. If you're feeling it, it's working, remember. And then let me hear some breathing here. In through the nose, nice and full, and out through the nose. Again, smooth, deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Let's take one more. Inhale and exhale.
Good. Press your hands onto the chair if they're not already there. Maybe bring your hands to your waist. Stand up. Heel toe, those feet back to center. And then let's give tree pose a try. So you could stay behind the chair if you'd like for tree pose, or come out to the side. It's up to you. I'm going to come out just so you can see me a little bit better here. We'll make the left leg the standing leg. Turn your right toes towards the right. And then start to figure out where you would like to be to practice your tree. So you could have your ball of your right foot on the floor, or you could start to slide it up and take some pressure against the calf muscle here, all the way up inside the thighs, up to you. But don't do it against the inside of the knee joint. That would be my only suggestion. Although if you're gentle, it's not gonna hurt you either, but traditionally we like to choose a spot. And then once you do, there's some points of connection to focus on. So the first one is going to be that you're using the surface area of the bottom foot as much as possible against the ground. The second point is going to be where this foot is on, the legs are touching. So you have equal pressure, foot to the calf, calf to the foot. Okay? Yes, please, I invite you to. And then the next point we can do is we can place one hand at the heart or both hands at the heart. And then rest the tongue at the back, at the roof of the mouth, just behind the front two teeth, so that that's relaxed. And reach your head towards the sky there. And then find your variation of tree that works for you. So if you want to stay just like this, if you'd like to raise the hands, one or both up to the sky, maybe a little swaying in the wind is perfectly fine. Just looking to practice some balance today. That was great. Find a focal point for those eyes to help steady you. And then one more big breath here, inhaling, coming back down. Let's release, let it go. And take your hands down to your knees now. Let's just start to smooth that out. One direction. And then the other direction. Good. And then let's come back up to standing. We'll go to the other side. So this time we'll set it up with the right leg as the standing leg. And then once again, just working on making sure we're using as much surface area of our foot as possible. And then that, as we shift the weight, turning those left toes to the left, finding a place to land there, trying to create equal pressure against the foot in our calf or wherever we've landed, right? Reground with the crown of the head, one hand to the heart, maybe both, resting that tongue, and finding that length along the spine. So it's harder to do these poses if we're not breathing. Make sure you check in with yourself, that air is flowing free. Perhaps a focal point for your eyes. And of course, if you want to grow those branches up towards the sky, opening the palms. Another opportunity to practice our balance here, so important. Shake it off. All right, let's come back to our seats. On time. Okay. All right. Back to our seats here. Just finding your breath for a moment, coming back, just noticing how the effects of the standing practice, the class thus far feels. All right, let's do this. Let's come into a twist from here. So we'll take it by crossing the right leg on top of the left, squeezing the inner thighs towards one another, and then placing the left hand on top of the right thigh. Turn your upper body towards the right. Maybe the right hand comes behind the chair, maybe not. But let's press down through the bottom of the spine, lift up through the crown of the head, and look back towards that right shoulder. Take a full breath in and a smooth breath out. Again, inhale and exhale. Now just turn your head on an inhale, so turn the head towards the left, and then turn it back to look right. Again, inhaling, head turns. Exhale, looking back the other way. Take one more, so we're toning that vagus nerve right now. And then look back. Once you look back at the right shoulder, reach that palm towards the ceiling, and then come over that ear. Now you can flip that hand on the top thigh there and give yourself a little bit of leverage as you reach those fingertips over the ear, so you find yourself in the twist, but the little zigzag shape as well. Deep, full breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Again, inhaling and exhaling. Good. Now come on up with that arm. We're gonna take it and we're gonna place it right onto the left shoulder. Turn the body to face the front. Bring that right hand onto the opposite shoulder there. Lift the elbows towards the ceiling. Stretch the front body, and then find eagle pose facing front. So really squeeze those inner thighs towards one another. Tuck your chin down to your chest. Maybe even swallow a couple of times to stimulate that thyroid gland for metabolism and blood sugar regulation. And then make sure that breath is still moving, deep and free, in and out. Give it one more full breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then unfurl those arms, uncross the legs, bring the knees out a little wide, the heels in, make some big circles in one direction, all the way around. And then let's take it the other way, reverse. Find your center as you're ready. Let's go to the opposite side. So the left leg's gonna cross on top this time. We'll place the right hands onto that thigh. Turn your upper body towards the left to find your twist, and then stay in that twist for a couple of breaths. So inhale full, exhale all the way. Again, inhale deep, and exhale. Now just turning the head, steadying the eyes, looking towards the right, and then coming back to look towards the left. Two more, inhaling and exhaling. Last one, in, and then back. Now take that left arm, reach it like you're reaching for something good, palm faces the sky, come swooping over that left ear, maybe you flip that palm and you press that left hip down into the chair. Reach those left fingertips overhead, find as much length as you can in those, between those ribs. Breathe full. One more reach there. the opposite shoulder. Now the right hand comes to the left shoulder. Lift the elbows, stretch the front body. Exhale, curl in on yourself, really hug everything in towards the midline. And then imagine somebody that really loves and supports you, just giving you a big pat on the back right now, saying good job for coming to yoga today, for doing this work, taking care of yourself, making it a priority. After your last exhale here, begin to unfurl the body, come on up. Let's open up those knees once again, and then this time, let's take our ladle, let's stack those fists on top of each other and start to stir that pot. So another opportunity to touch the muscles in our core, our back and our front body, as well as the side abdominals. And like you're moving through something thick, just stirring it up, the witch's brew in our Halloween season here. And then we're gonna mindfully take this in the reverse. So reverse course, coming on through. And then come on back to center. Let those arms rest. You can heel toe those knees back to parallel. And then just take a few moments here. Noticing how you feel. Letting the shoulders be relaxed. Maybe looking down at the floor or closing the eyes. You can let go of the deep breathing at this point. So you no longer need that. Hopefully the mind started to focus on what you're doing. And I'm just going to invite you to bring your awareness somewhere where you notice the breath in the body. So maybe it's most obvious at the belly, noticing that when you breathe in, the belly expands, and when you breathe out, it contracts. Maybe you notice that breath moving the body more further up in the heart space as you breathe in and out. And sometimes people like to watch it right at the edge of the nostrils or that little triangle at the upper lip, and they try to see if they can sense where the breath is moving in and out through the sensation. But it doesn't matter what place that you pick. We're just going to take a minute here to work on some meditation where we really start to focus the awareness on the breath, and we keep practicing guiding our awareness back to the breath. So wherever you choose, whether it's to bring it to the belly and watch the breath, further up to the heart space, or at the tip of the nose and the upper lip, just find that place and just begin to keep guiding your awareness right there. Watching the breath move in and out. Not be uncommon if you only get maybe 1 or 2 breaths before the mind drifts away. Doesn't matter, we're just training it, just like that little puppy. No matter how many times we get distracted, just with gentleness and patience and compassion, just call it right back to where you want it to go, right back to your point of focus.
Last few moments here. And putting a seal on this practice with that mind and that yoga zone. Noticing how we're feeling and trying to seal this in to bring with us. Let's take the hands to prayer at the heart space. Little bow of the chin in reverence to the yogis that came before us and to ourselves for being here. We'll take the thumbs to the third eye space for clarity of thought. And then the fingers to the lips for kindness in our speech to ourselves and one another. And then back to the space of the heart, consistency of action where it really matters. And we allow this practice to help guide us in what we think, say, and do. I want to thank all of you for coming today, for being a part of this. Namaste.
Namaste. Pray for the best. That's all I have to say. Jesus,